Welcome to Era of the Consortium. I am here today to run a game for these wonderful people. I'm going to be running a game which sort of focuses and leans into a specific kind of feel. But as anyone who knows Era of the Consortium will know, you can pretty much do any subgenre of sci-fi. What we're going for today is something very specific, but I'm going to let you work it out because I think that'll be more fun. A really, really quick history of the Consortium, and I mean really quick. You can get way more on era-games.com/era-the-consortium/backstory, and I should have thought that through before I wrote it that way, because it's hard to say. The Consortium began with humans traveling 1,000 years away from Earth on a colony ship. It crash landed on a planet called Tyrannus, and humanity gradually spread across the solar system that they'd landed in. They discovered a wormhole that led from that solar system to another nearby solar system. And there they discovered the Eulutians, first contact with an alien race. The Eulutians are a squid-like race who quickly realized that humanity are incredibly xenophobic. So they built human-shaped, water-filled suits so they could better interact with humanity. The Consortium thrived for about 100 years after that, until another wormhole was discovered. That wormhole led to a third solar system, and there humanity ran into the insectoid Simians. The Simians' first contact went rather badly, and the entire first contact crew, humans and Eulutians, were ripped apart by the insectoid aliens due to a misunderstanding. This resulted in a 20-year war. This resulted in a 20-year war, which ended when the humanities torched the Simians' egg chamber and killed all of their children, at which point the Simians surrendered. This might give you an idea that I don't particularly have a super positive, happy clappy version of the future in Era of the Consortium. The Simians surrendered unconditionally, and it took another 50 to 100 years for them to really be accepted into society. I'll let you go read up on the Time of Sorrow on the link that I gave you. I'm not covering that. We are now 200 years later than even that. There have been rises and falls of various groups in power, and the situation right now is that the Consortium, which is both the region of space and also the government of the region of space, has become quite an oppressive regime. It's run by 8 big companies, known as the Big 8, actually, not very creative naming. The Big 8 companies run the Consortium because what they do is they come up with provisional laws which are then enacted until the Senate of the top 200 companies, which includes those 8, have a vote on it and decide whether it's going to be ratified or not. And then if it's not ratified, it's removed. Well, to be honest, it is incredibly rare for the Senate to actually stop the Big 8 doing almost anything. They squabble a bit too much. They're too divided. The Consortium is a corporate meritocracy. So very quickly, that means that the companies with the highest profit are the ones who are in the Senate. That's what top 200 means. And also top 8. Give you an idea of the difference between a Big 8 company and the other companies. They are the masters of the universe, and that has nothing to do with what was just written in chat, which I'm not going to share. They are the biggest of the Big 8 are the Hayden Bank, which controls all of the money. There are no other banks in the Consortium. Other banks are effectively illegal. Cash transactions are effectively illegal. They're not quite illegal, but you'll be looked into. Smertios Security, which is a very important company, they are the police, and they are also the army, as it were, the Navy, the Space Navy, and the army. In addition, you guys are part of Smertios Security. It's sort of another branch of it. You're the Search and Rescue Division. Smertios Security funds this. You fly around space and you rescue ships that are in distress. That's what you do. Other important companies, Open Technology. That is, it builds like all of the cutting edge technology, builds most of the spaceships, it builds most of the what else am I thinking of? Um, Computer programs, implants that go in your brain and allow you to communicate wordlessly with other people, and so on and so on and so on. Those are just some highlights of the big eight. If any others come up, I'll let you know. I think only Smertios Security is going to appear in this, but you never entirely know. And I'll give you background as and when anything else shows up. So about 2 years ago, the Consortium, and specifically Smertios Security and Open Technology, hatched a plan to kill everyone in one of the solar systems and blame it on an accident where the solar flare interacted with the wormhole. So, oh no, we have to lock down wormhole travel and limit it, which Smertios Security liked quite a lot. And Open Technology was about to be superseded in what was then the Big Seven. And it was a panic reaction by the CEO of Open Technology to try and kill everybody.
Classic panic reaction.
This was yeah. I mean, kill everyone. It's the Blackadder method of dealing with problems. Kill everyone else in the world. Now the resistance formed based on this plan, and they got wind of this plot, and they were able to stop this weapon from firing, saving 14 billion lives. Many resistance members did perish. However, a lot of people, and probably you guys included, don't believe this ever happened. They think it's propaganda. That obviously Smertios Security would not try and kill 14 billion people in the counter system. That would be ridiculous. Why would they do that? It's just a way of stirring up unrest and trying to overthrow the government because terrorists and resistance terrorists and so on. So since then, the war, or the war between the resistance and the Consortium has heated up quite a lot. Recently, there was an occasion where the resistance tried to declare independence for one of the outlying planets and its moons. It's a gas giant, so really the moons in the region is what it was interested in. They tried to declare independence from the resistance. Now, some of you were involved in that situation. Andy landed the ship that dropped off a bunch of troops. You were flying a troop transport at the time. You were all commandeered into this task force under a General Rob Grant. And I think that was his name. I've forgotten the surname. It was definitely General Rob. You're all commandeered into this task force under this guy. And your immediate commanders all told you, eliminate everyone. This was quite a harrowing experience for you, and it stuck with you. The ones on the ground were Iloche. No, Iloche's not playing. Eflori's not playing. Ysal is playing, and Andy is the only other one who was involved. Akakak, you were not involved. And Zora, you were also not on board. You weren't in this region of space. So they basically grabbed all military personnel, and you are technically military. So a gun was shoved in your hand, Ysal, and you were landed on the planet and told, go kill everyone who isn't us. You're a bit psychopathic, so maybe you were okay with that, but you probably ultimately regret the loss of life. And certainly, Andy, although you weren't directly involved, you are not happy with this situation. I'm going to say that the reason the captain character, who I did present but none of you chose, is not here is he perished in that action. So you also lost one of your longest standing friends. All four of you would have known. No, maybe not Zora. Everyone apart from Zora would have known this guy. Zora, you were placed in as the captain of this ship as a result of Eflori's being killed. You've taken this job because it is better for you, for your career right now, to take this job. Andy, Akakak, Ysal, you all knew each other already. Zora coming in, she's probably got a very different way of doing things to the way Eflori was. He was quite empathetic with the people that you would pick up and help. But, you you probably have a bit of a problem with Zora. I'm just going to set that up. I'm going to leave it to you how far you roleplay that. She is in charge, and I also get the feeling that Zora is not going to be afraid of you losing your pension and going to prison for disobeying her orders, because technically she can do that. So there's going to be a limit to how far you can be insubordinate. I like the peering over the glasses. I enjoyed that. That was excellent. So, the resistance have recently made some fairly large moves. But I'm going to say this happened soon enough afterwards that you were remote enough that you don't know about them. So if anyone watching has already looked at the 24-hour game that we did a stream of, this has happened, but these people are out in the outskirts of the encounter system and are not aware of the situation. It'll probably be another week or two before they find out what happened. So, you are aboard your search and rescue ship, which I'm going to call the Cassandra. And I've got a couple of minutes set aside for a little bit of let's get the taste of the characters for you guys. So, I don't know how self-starter you guys are, so I'm just going to start with, does anyone want to tell me what they're doing?
Zora is going to walk onto sort of like the command section of the ship, where the pilot is. Yep. Very, very imperiously, and just kind of declare that she's there by loudly stating, "Captain on deck."
Andy, I assume you're probably... In fact, Andy, are you at the helm? Because,
to
be honest, you could be on autopilot and just off doing something else.
Yeah, legs kicked up on, like, the dashboard or what have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just, like, cup of coffee.
Yep.
I felt you coming from, like, a parsec away.
Did you clean that surface before you put your feet up on it?
Sure.
Then would you like to remove your feet from it?
That pause is exactly what happens. It's like this long pause and then goes, sure.
Don't tell me how to fly. I won't tell you how to captain.
That's company property, you know. Any damage will be coming out of your paycheck.
Sure, great, cool. I can feel my morale rising as we speak.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
you need something?
You knew that was going to work.
Can I help you?
She sort of pats herself on the back, metaphorically so, and just kind of walks around the ship, just making sure everything's clean. She's just kind of doing a little bit of an inspection.
Okay, roll me an intelligence and investigation to find out how clean the ship is. Yosol, how clean do you keep the medibay?
I was going to say psychopathically immaculate.
Perfect. For the record, my wife is called Immaculate, so I will explain to her that psychopathically immaculate came up. She'll enjoy that. And Akakak, what about you're probably the engineer, I guess, for the most part. How does engineering look? How do the rest of the area look? It's quite a big ship to keep clean, but there aren't many of you, so it's probably doable if you spend all your time doing it.
The parts of the ship that Akakak is responsible for are as clean as whoever last told him to clean it. However long ago the last person who directly instructed him to clean something, that's when it was last cleaned.
Got it. I'm with you. Perfect.
Could have been 5 minutes ago, could have been 5 weeks ago.
Yeah. Perfect. Love it. Great. Okay. Cool. So, how did your intelligence investigation go?
I got a 10, 2 9s, 2 6s, 2 5s, a 3 and a 2.
Did you do your bonus dice for the 10?
Yep. I got the 3 after the 10,
Oh,
yep.
okay, cool. So you've got 3 successes by my count over 7.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So with 3 successes, there are definitely areas of the ship that are not very clean. They will be areas that Akakak is responsible for, but you probably told him to clean engineering directly not that long ago. As Yosal said, the Medibay is psychopathically clean, like to the degree that while you like things clean, it's sort of like disturbing to you to be in that space.
Like if you walked in, you almost feel like your lungs are being
Very
scrubbed
dirty
whilst you're in there.
by breathing
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, it's not quite the right combination of gases, and it needs to turn around and leave. Everything's too clean. It's just that faint trace of smell that you don't like, and yeah.
Like you're inhaling
definitely a lot of
antibacterial
bleach
hand gel.
Lots of bleach smell. Lots of that.
Well, everything's ship shape.
So that's what you find in your inspection.
Engineering could be just a little bit better, but I did only just recently ask you to clean it, so I can't be too disappointed in you, I suppose.
You have cleaned it from top to bottom only like yesterday, Akakak. It is not psychopathically immaculate, but very clean.
Thank you,
So
Captain.
Zora ordered you to do it, and you did it, and then Zora says it's still dirty.
Just perhaps a little bit more elbow grease?
He proceeds to try to extract grease from his elbows.
Oh, I assume you try and grease up your elbows.
I mean, I assume the elbow grease comes from the elbow, so he's trying to like pull grease out of them to use on the cleaning. He's not sure what effect this will have, but he's sure the captain knows what she's talking about.
I don't know whether you stick around for this, Zora.
No.
No, you don't care enough, do you? I didn't think so.
For the next 3 hours, is just how do you what?
Is
How
it
to
a gland? Is it?
Does some
would-
kind of Google exist?
Yeah, would you like to roll me an intelligence and engineering to try and work
Oh,
out how
yes!
you get elbow grease?
Absolutely.
You will not get your bonus for your engineering kit because this is nonsensical.
All right, I have to explode a whole bunch to actually win this one. So
Yeah, it's only the 4 dice. Yeah,
Mhm.
Cool.
No explosion, so it's just 3 9s and a 2, so 3 over 7.
Matthew, when we're done, remind me, and I'll leave a link for these character sheets in case anyone watching wants to go check them out. They're
Fantastic.
downloaded free on our website anyway, so I'll leave a link.
Okay, cool.
Just remind me at the end if you would. Sorry, no successes, was it?
No, 3 successes, but 3 over 7 is still a failure, I think.
No, that's pretty good. So with 3 successes, you realize that if you get a hypodermic needle from, you'll probably be able to get something out of your elbow. So you should probably go ask Yosal about it, because he'll know all about elbow grease.
I immediately make my way over there.
You do wonder if it might be a human thing, though, and you're not sure whether it's like biologically compatible with Zimians. But you're hoping Yosal might know because there are 2 humans on board. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to make my way over. Excuse me.
Yosal, I assume you're in the Medibay.
Yes. Sharpening implements.
You're really creepy. Right, Akakak is probably quite dirty from having cleaned things recently. So he's probably quite dirty. So he's going to come into your med bay somewhat dirty.
Excuse me.
Stop
Shoe covers.
right there. 6 shoe covers.
I put on all the covers.
Yeah, you got 4 feet, so yeah, 4 covers.
Yeah.
4 for the feet and then 2 for the hands.
One over each antenna. You don't appear to be in medical need, so wait there and I'll come to you. And he puts down what he's sharpening and then comes over.
So it's one of those, put on all the shoe covers and then stand outside the door.
And stand still, yeah.
The captain has required I put elbow grease on the engineering bay. I came to you to ask if you had any knowledge in extracting elbow grease.
Gaisal will smile, a slightly disturbing smile,
Oh
I click my mandibles.
Oh no!
and explain. Elbow grease is a emulsion secreted by humans through the joint in their middle arm. However, to extract it, you have to separate the arm at the elbow joint. As we only have a few humans on board, they tend to protest a lot when you do that. So, save that thought for when we next encounter some that we don't need.
Thank you for your help, friend Medicaid. I will make sure to collect many arms and elbows next time we encounter hostile resistance.
Excellent. Anything else?
That will be all. Goodbye.
Okay.
I, I,
Carefully, out
I
you
leave
go.
with the shoe covers. I don't
Yeah.
take them off. No one told me to.
Just
Fair
walking down the hallway, get a refill. You do know, Doc, that elbow grease is just like a turn of phrase, right?
I know.
You also know that Ak is going to literally collect arms, right?
I know.
He's
Right.
sort of transplant fingers.
Checking, just making sure.
Man, I hope this moment is a Chekhov's gun.
So do I. I mean, we'll find out, won't we?
I mean, it's one way to be
I
armed
have
and deadly.
plans.
Andy, you get your refill. You head back to the bridge,
Yeah.
and you find that actually your communication system is currently in the process of beeping. Like, it's been beeping for at least a minute or two while you were getting your coffee and waiting for the fancy coffee machine.
Of course. The second I get up to do something. All right.
Fortunately,
You've reached the
Zora
Casandy. This is Andy. How can I help you?
Zora wasn't there, so you know. General distress call. General distress call. I'm stuck in my escape pod. My engine's overloaded. Requesting aid. Immediate aid. Any ships in range? Any ships in range, please. Please respond. Please give me a hand. I'm floating out here. I'm 3 days away from anywhere with 2 days of air left.
Yeah, this is the Casandy. We've received your distress call. We will be there as soon as possible.
Do you call the ship the you now?
Oh, absolutely.
You call the ship the Casandy. I've
Yeah.
just decided that.
Yes.
You pet named the ship. I love it.
Well, no, it named it after himself because he feels like he does all the work.
And then while I'm inputting the coordinates,
Yeah.
I'll flip on the overhead page. All right, team, we've got a distress call. Get your shit together.
7 hours.
Yeah, we got about 7 hours.